Good afternoon, everybody, and I hope you're well. It's been over a week actually since our last live stream, but thanks for bearing with us. It's been a busy couple of days, that's for sure. Now, I've got a new headset, so early note, new microphone, new headset. My sound levels and my microphone might need a little bit of tweaking. I have been tweaking it over the last few days. It's difficult to try and test yourself until, of course, you're live. But we're back, and we are finding ourselves today in Kuala Lumpur to Jakarta for our little flight. So departing here at the Secret Studios, Kuala Lumpur International Airport, released some time ago now for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and in fact it was their first ever scenery released for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's received a number of updates since its release, and around January time as well, from what he's been saying. In conversations with the developer recently, he's going to be releasing an update to improve it that little bit more. We are here at AirAsia's, or the low-cost carrier, number 2. Rab says that I'm a bit loud, but otherwise very clear. Let me turn it down. Let's see. It's trying to find that balance, isn't it, with WIII ATC, which is always really loud lately. Trying to kind of get that sweet balance. Let me just drop it by 2 decibels. There we go. How's that? Hopefully that's a little bit better anyway. We can tweak it throughout the flight until we find that happy sweet spot. Welcome to you if you're tuning in for the very first time. It's great to have you on board with us. And if you are new, hit like, hit subscribe as well. If you're a veteran, of course, hit like too. And those of you who are our frequent flyers, blue, or indeed channel members, bronze, silver and gold, thank you. Hello to you all. Let's have a little look here what we got. A little bit of we got a dancing bus. David, good afternoon. MPS Gaming, good afternoon. Badger as well. Zato, welcome. Rab, good afternoon. Mike, Ian, howdy. Lazaros Calispera, hope you're well. 13 months, Zato, indeed. Thank you for your support, of course. Appreciate it. Scott F, good evening. Mikhail, good afternoon. Sounding a lot better, Badger says as well there, and we've tweaked that sound based on your feedback in the live chat, so thank you for that. Saying it's a lot more crispy. It's not even that much of an expensive headset. It just proves you don't have to spend crazy amounts of money to get fairly decent quality. So as you can see here, 20 quid this scenery. It's the payware version. Ashley, hello to you. David, good morning. Mike as well. But elements of it, interior wise, there isn't really much of it. But yeah, this is the payware version, which the freeware one actually was based on. So the freeware one's developed by the same person. Doc, hello to you. And I think let me scroll back up in the old live chat. Tazadam, welcome to you as well. Lumpur Tower is in the chat. Howdy. Thank you for your support. And there's elements of this scenery that are quite nice. There's this little chime that I keep hearing, which is like the tannoy inside the terminal. I keep hearing that kind of ping about, which is quite a nice little quality of life thing that he's added in here. So a little Gatwick-esque, isn't it, with this little bridge area that we can taxi underneath. Doing a little bit of plane spotting from above. Doc says the train is live. Sinful, welcome. Where would I find the train? Absolutely no idea. I'm looking for train tracks. Maybe I've entirely misunderstood.
Delivery, hello, Osprey 55.
And over there is the main terminal area.
Ricardo Hata, information echo aboard to an
So let's
A320 to an H1008.
zip over here. Ah, chopping
Osprey 558, can you say your stand number?
Here we go. Right, so this is Terminal 1, which is the older terminal.
At stand Kilo 5.
We're looking for that train, aren't we? Choo choo.
Osprey 558 Lumpur delivery.
Got it.
Clearance cleared to
Oh, cool.
Hatta, Jakarta via the Mythos 1 Foxtrot. Departure runway T3. Flight level T30
So,
to 172.
pushing my drone camera out there. Here he comes. We could pretend we're going the other way. Oh, it pinged me over the bridge. Oh well. Still pretty good. There's the other one heading out the other way. Mikhail, thanks buddy. Really appreciate that. 200 Danish kroner. Very generous of you. Thank you so much.
We will refile it again, just in case.
Off he goes, zooming away out the bend. Maximum power towards the terminal, followed by maximum brakes. There we are.
And we should have it refiled for you.
Just going to trigger. Oh, no, crikey. Bloody hell. Hold on, let me restart ATL. Oh dear. No, didn't click that either. That's a weird one. But I've broke it now, haven't I? I wanted to request boarding.
Boarding requested.
And delivery Osprey 558.
So on flightsim.to there's a default
observer mode.
there's a GSX profile rather to replace the default one for this airport scenery. Grab them about 4 PM because obviously real time it's pitch darkness at the moment. And over here, huge Malaysian cargo terminal area. Look at the size of that.
For some Christmas shopping.
Streamlabs just catching up there, Mikhail. Thank you again. So we're all the way over here. Makes you realise how vast Kuala Lumpur Airport actually is. Right, good stuff. So voice sounds good. What a difference a new headset makes. Yeah, my old headset I'd had since I started the channel, in fact. And it was a £14 wired HyperX headset. All I've got now is an EPOS H5 wired headset. Again, it's only £30 or £40. It's not expensive. You don't have to spend crazy money on headsets. The one thing that I've found that is a little frustrating though is this braided cable that's attached to it, and effectively it's too short. Tazadam says if you look to the left of the mass cargo terminal on the corner building, that was where the old low-cost terminal was located. Let's go back. You must be referring to this, not that bit. Could it be this bit? Is that the old low-cost terminal? Betting that is a little bit more over here. Ah, Tazadam, nice. Thank you for that. Nice little bit of local knowledge. But yeah, it looks alright, doesn't it? To be fair, it's 20 quid, so it's not a cheap scenery. But again, it's been updated a fair bit to maintain compatibility with the sim. But also the developer Chris from TheSecretStudio is working on that update that I was mentioning a few moments ago, whereby around January time, middle of January or so, we're going to be able to enjoy a complete update for this airport. And if you don't want to spend money on it, then he's also created a freeware version. Is it 9? No, it's 3 usually that I'll use, isn't it? We are over here somewhere. Stan Kilo 1, which I think is that one there for us. Probably is, yeah, Mike. Good to see the jetties a little bit balked. That's definitely us then. So, GSX profile, it's custom. Obviously, I did just muck around with GSX, probably caused that problem there. But let's get the drone camera settled in for today's journey. Takes a little while to get it configured nicely for...
All stations. First contact with Kuala Lumpur delivery. Please state your stand number. Thank you.
these kind of streams. It looks like it's progressing quite nicely. This is special livery as well for AirAsia. This 321 Takeoff livery for the Latin VFR A321neo. And if you're just wondering what we're doing flying this, then we are flying with the Horizon Simulations A321neo mod, which then allows us to enjoy proper immersion, Airbus A321X level immersion, thanks to all the fly-by-wire A321X files that they've tweaked and added into this. Let's dive into the flight deck for the first time today. QNH 1008.
Stand Alpha.
Don't want that one actually.
November.
I want this one. WMKK.
7800 looking to pick up my clearance.
So we want the departure information Echo.
But 388 very good evening. ATC clearance.
1230 independent parallel departures for 32 right and 33 are in progress. Wind variable 3 knots, 9,000 meters visibility, few clouds, 1,000 feet. 25 degrees for the temperature. Dew points 24, so only a 1 degree spread. QNH now 1009er. And on first contact, report aircraft type.
Clearance cleared to Jakarta via the MSFS 1 Delta departure.
Now, how was that for a little test? Talking over the VATSIM ATC. Did you guys hear me more clearly than before? Hopefully we could. It all works and we could. Let's have a look at this. Ground, payload. Payload is now complete. Fuel is loaded. 84. VATSIM is very loud.
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Squawk 2126.
21.
UD, hello. It's a good. It's a flat white. My favourite kind of coffee. That.
Correct.
So we need to do things like performance and everything else. We'll look at the departures, but we'll get our clearance first, so we can then chat about all of the stuff on the charts. So first, to begin with, hello to all of our controllers today, by the way, from deliveries through to ground to tower. Appreciate you guys coming online this evening for us. Lumper delivery, good evening. Redcap 353 A321neo on stand Kilo 1 with Echo QNH 1009, a request clearance to Jakarta.
Redcap 353 Lumper delivery, good evening. ATC clearance cleared to Jakarta via the MSFS 1 Foxtrot departure runway 33. Cross waypoint Sukri at flight level 270 or above. Expect flight level 330, squawk 2146.
Clear to Jakarta, runway 33, Mythos 1, Foxtrot, departure, cross Sukri at or above flight level 270, expect flight level 330, squawk 2146, Redcap 353.
Redcap 353, reback correct, now ground 121.8, good night.
We'll go 1218, thanks, good night, Redcap 353. 1218, and then we've got 1188 ready for the next one. 1188, so we pre-tune the next frequency all the time to keep it simple and stay ahead of it. And then we're going to have a look at the charts for the first time. Living on a Player, good morning. UC, welcome buddy. How are you? So we're here in this low-cost terminal where Clio 2, or the sort of Terminal 2. We're going to push start in the cul-de-sac, and then we've got to head out to runway 33. It's going to be at this hot spot, turning left, probably down Zulu, Zulu 8 Yankee, Yankee 9. But there is a very specific set of taxi instructions which we'll need to look at, as Doc's just said in the live chat, in fact, as well. So that arrow suggests in for arrivals. It also says that on the charts. I didn't read that bit. Departures. Here we go. So that's correct. That's kind of what we were expecting. Look. So out of U8. In fact, we can write this down. U8. Zulu. Zulu 8. So we've already got our taxi instructions ready. And then Yankee 8 or Yankee 9. Done. Blader says, is the aeroplane worth flying right now? Only if you're on PC and you can download the Horizon Simulations A321neo mod for it. That makes it a lot better. Runway length 3960, really nice and long. Daffy Duck, nice. PMDG have just pushed the 3.0.82 update for the Microsoft Store. Users finally, therefore, have the Universal Flight Tablet. But to be fair to PMDG, they pushed that update a couple of weeks ago, I believe, didn't they? But the marketplace is just a bit of a crap fest with how long it takes for these updates to actually push through. Which is why I actively avoid buying anything from the marketplace. Unfortunately, Jakarta by BinerSim or BinerSim, that's only available on the MSFS marketplace, so I've had to purchase it there, which is a little frustrating. But hey ho. After departure, runway 33 then, over Kilo 715 at or above 430 feet. We're going to turn westbound to KK 716 and then south through 712, Idumi, Ombir, and then Mitos. Although he just said to me, didn't he, about crossing a certain waypoint at or above 270, so let's try and locate that, because that's part of our departure planning. Sukri, there it is, all the way up there. Easy, that's very easy to achieve. Okay, we can do that, we can make that work. And then that's it, we'll be off over the water, passing south of Singapore, over Pangkal Pinang, and then down into Indonesia's Jakarta, Soekarno-Hatta Airport, I think it is. I'll have to double check. Selamat malam, Jeff, hello to you in Jakarta, welcome. Let's hide the charts. Now you might have noticed on those charts, it was like a bit of a collection of departures that we were looking at. Sort this out. So there aren't any initial climbs like we do in the States or in the UK, that sort of thing. We actually don't have any of that to worry about here. So we've just set 330 for our cruise, and we'll just work through climb through there. QNH is set, VORs are on auto tune for track that. We're going to set 1009er on the standby instruments as well, and up here pop seatbelt signs on and start. Make sure my new sky's tracking, it is. That's all looking good. And then we can continue to turn our attention here. So in A and B is all done. Perf page. We're going to go flaps 1 plus F, down 0.2 for the trimmable horizontal stabilizer setting. I'll pop the flex in randomly. Tazadum says initial climbs are given when approach or centre is online. There we go, thank you for that. So they're not online, we've got up to tower today. But otherwise we might get initial climb to whatever. We'll do that bit when we get there. Alrighty, ready. Let's just make sure there's no discontinuities.
Indonesia 210, thank you, and Quebec 15, push and stop, group facing west, right 33.
We'll get rid of that because we don't need it. Throttles are on idle. Let's prepare for pushback and departure.
Finish 1009.
Little VDGS module for us there. G'day Justin, welcome. Interesting, Tazadum. So what examples could you give us then in relation to this? What sort of initial climbs might we get, and how do the runways differ then here in Kuala Lumpur for those people watching that might want to tune in one day and fly on the VATSIM network out of Kuala Lumpur? Pop this in 2146.
Bypass being inserted.
Pop it on auto just to save me worrying about that later. That's on above. Transponders on standby. Right. Got a couple of custom views ready. And the Luke Air tool for some AirAsia safety demonstration stuff. which we'll play once we push. Nice to see the aileron deflections there because the hydraulics with the Airbus. Right, let's get our clearance. Lumber ground, good evening. Radcap 353, stand Kilo 1, fully ready, request push and start.
Radcap 353, aircraft on your right pushing, stand by.
We'll cover hold position, Radcap 353. Is there? Oh yeah, this one right here. So you might have noticed there when GSX popped up, it gave us an option of only push start facing west on Uniform 8. Now that's because we've got this custom GSX profile installed. So it makes some of these complex push and start procedures in airports around the world, like in this little corner of the airport that we're in here at Kuala Lumpur, makes it a lot easier. Tasdam there in the chat with a couple of examples there. So if we had approach and centre online at Kuala Lumpur today, if we were flying on runway 33, which we are, we would have an initial climb to 4,000 feet. Same with 15. If it was 14 right and 32 left, it would be 6,000, and 14 left or 32 right would be 5,000. Interesting. I assume then the difference there is because they want separation for parallel departures. There's the AirAsia head office.
Indonesia 210, taxi, holding point Yankee 9, right 33, via Zulu 8.
Oh, Tassadam, nice. There we go. The GSX profile was made by him. Very nice.
Indonesia 210, no problem.
Oh, Zata, yeah.
Holding point Yankee
There's
9,
no specifying which one it picks. In fact, I don't think I've got round to adding the retro one yet, have I? Into the VMR. Both, to be fair, split notion, but it depends on what system you've got. Ronald, hello, saying AirAsia's service is not so good. It's just because it's a low-cost carrier, isn't it? They've got some cool liveries, though. Let's go. We've still got about 3 minutes or so before we're at our actual pushback time, so we're just ahead of schedule nicely here.
Ground, Osprey 58, request taxi.
Got the beacon on?
Osprey 598, taxi, holding point Yankee 9er, right 33, via Zulu 8, and Yankee.
Pause the music. So this aircraft's got the Pratt & Whitney engine options, but I don't think there's a sound difference.
Yankee 9 via Zulu 8.
Gamer Clark, welcome.
Osprey 59.
Zulu 8 and Yankee.
Zulu 8 Yankee, Osprey 58.
Did you hear the little ding? That's a nice little tip as well there, Tazadam, saying it's also a little bit like Amsterdam, so after takeoff you change your frequency to the...
Radcap 353, Bay Kilo 1, push and start proof, runway 33, QNH 1009.
Push start approved for Kilo 1, runway 33, QNH 1009 on Radcap 353.
Release parking brakes.
Yeah, so after takeoff, if we had departure online, we would automatically change to their frequency ourselves. Beacons on, park brakes off. Ooh, hello.
Pushback crew, they've got me facing to the east. Just wondering if I could do a quick swing around and get ready for taxi.
Got to disengage the external power.
32472, not a problem. Make
ignition mode start.
And taxi on Uniform 3, Zulu 8 and Yankee hold short, Yankee 9, right 33.
Let's start her up.
Do a 360 and taxi on Uniform 3, Foxtrot to Zulu 8 to holding point Yankee for runway 33.
Negative, hold Yankee 9, not Zulu 8.
correction, hold at Yankee 8 for Osprey 2472.
I hope you guys can hear that.
Set parking brakes.
Cockpit to ground.
Oh, look at that engine wiggle.
Engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Kuala Lumpur ground, good evening, Osprey
Bit weird.
495 heavy on the stand, Bravo 63 left, request setup.
He's dropping us. Engine 1. Let's go.
Osprey 495, Bay Bravo 63, left push start proof, facing south, runway 32, right, finish 1009.
Push start approved, facing south, 30 right, and finish 1009, Osprey 495.
Tontonan puan-puan, TV 5, 12 dan 14 adalah dihaskan untuk tetamu hot seat sahaja.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Masuk anda. Penukaran tempat duduk
Left is clear. Right is clear.
sama sekali bagi menstabilkan berat dan menjaga keseimbangan pesawat. Terima kasih di atas kerjasama anda.
Basie.
Cabin crew, your briefing station. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now demonstrate to you the safety features of this aircraft. As your safety is our
There we go.
concern, and the
Flaps 1 plus F.
safety of other aircraft,
Trim check set to neutral for the rudder. Ignition mode norm. Edges 1 and 2 both look good. Stable. AP bleed can come off. Have a good trip, which means they've given us the ground pin indication. They have.
Osprey 55, Kilo 5 requesting for
Auto brake max. Ground spoilers armed. Here we go.
Osprey 588, push and start proof, stand Bay, correction, Bay Kilo 5, push and start proof, runway 33, finish 1009.
Push start approved here, 5233, Osprey 558.
Red cap 353. Request taxi. Hold position. It's going to be.
Figure 353, stand by.
Your life vest is under your seat.
Roger.
8, hold position.
Copy 558.
Oh.
On the waistband.
Figure 353, hold, correction, taxi holding point Yankee 9 right, 33, via Zulu 8 and Yankee.
A taxi hold point is it Yankee 8 via Zulu 8 and Yankee. Red cap 353. Taxi. So just keep it a little quick here, just to get out of the way.
Contact Lumpur Tower 118
And we'll do some control surface checks.
Evacuation slides are located at all exits. Please note where the emergency
All the way back. Just having a look at the cam down there. And looking at that indication. Now I can't really do rudder too much, so while we're moving, I'm pressing it really quick.
Calling me, contact tower.
There we are.
Osprey 598, contact tower, contact Lumpur Tower 118 Malay.
118 is ready for the next frequency, and we're going to follow carefully on our taxi charts.
Thank you for service. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Indonesia 210, contact tower 118 Malay.
1 plus F, takeoff config, test and normal.
Osprey 558,
It's just cabin secure left.
Osprey 558, thank you for your patience. Push and start proof, right 33, finish 1.
Living on a plane, nice.
Push start approved, right 33, Osprey 558.
Osprey 2472, contact tower 118 Malay.
118 is Malay.
Just going to guess this left turn here.
Have a good day, cheers.
Izinkan kami mengingatkan anda bahawa merokok adalah dilarang sama sekali di dalam penerbangan ini, termasuk tandas dan juga di tengah pesawat. Merokok di dalam tandas akan menyebabkan
No idea if my nose is pointing the right way. Let's just check. Oh! That would have been perfect. So that's the safety demo done.
Patek 388 pushing start.
And there the aileron deflections.
Tango
I think we flew this a little while ago, didn't we, with the Horizon Simulations mod, which makes it usable. There is the whole argument of whether or not you should have to pay for a payware aircraft to then have it fixed by a freeware development group. It's a bit of a controversial thing, which is why we're talking about it, I guess. But the Horizon Simulations mod does make this very, very nice. It's nice to have a little bit of extra variety with the Airbus as well. Everyone seems to just make an A320. And that's something else we'll talk about during the cruise, because IndyBuilds have... they were making the A320 for the next sim update, weren't they? But that's now been pulled from the beta. And will no longer be in the update coming next. Which is rather interesting. It's a little bit of brakes just to help slow us down. Effectively, we'll let the aeroplane kind of speed up a little bit, and then we'll dab the brakes, bring a speed down, gently release the brakes, and then it will allow it to roll itself faster again before we intervene with brakes again. Otherwise we'll end up overheating them.
Osprey 495, taxi holding point Alpha 11, right 3 to right via Tango.
So takeoff memos, no blue.
Bravo 8 Alpha.
The ear cup on this headset with the microphone is very tight.
23 right, hold short Alpha 11 via Tango 3, box short Bravo 8, Alpha Osprey 495.
Here we are.
And Osprey 558, taxi holding point Yankee 9, right 33 via Zulu, Zulu 8 and Yankee.
Yankee 9, holding point Yankee 9, 3.
Long haul taxi.
Zulu 8 and Yankee, Osprey 558.
Henry F 353, contact Lumpur Tower 118 at Malay.
Tower on 1188 for Redcap 353. Thanks for the ATC. Good night.
Good night.
That's the point, actually. For those of you who can hear me on VATSIM talking, how's the mic volume on that? Is it too loud, or is it just right? Because my previous headset, my previous microphone, I had turned up to pretty much maximum all the time. I've just changed it because I noticed it was tipping into the red constantly on the on VATSIM there, so I've just turned it down from +14 to +12. Ah, good stuff. Maybe I didn't need to change it after all. What are we on? 1188. Lumpur Tower, good evening. Redcap 353's on Zulu for Yankee 8.
Redcap 353, Lumpur Tower, good evening. Continue taxi Zulu 8, holding point Yankee 8, runway 33.
Continue taxi Zulu 8, Yankee, hold point Yankee 8, runway 33, Redcap 353. He's very quiet. So I'm just going to +2 him instead of -6. Yeah, Mike, it was constantly going into the red with VATSIM audio, so I've turned it down a little bit. On the brakes.
Departure frequencies offline, monitor intercom after airborne, runway 3.
And we'll follow him.
Osprey 508 at holding point Yankee 8, ready for takeoff.
Osprey 598, departure frequencies offline, monitor Unicom after airborne, runway 33, clear for takeoff.
Go to Unicom 122.8. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Thank you.
Osprey 598, negative.
MPSC mains. He's clearing you for takeoff like normal, but once you're airborne, then you can change to Unicom.
After airborne, go to Unicom.
That's it. 1228, so we'll pre-tune our next frequency. And by listening to the instructions of the next pilot, or the pilots ahead of us, we can preempt and start to work out what we're going to have to do after takeoff as well. Rap. Love it. Doc's been taxiing on this taxiway in real life last year. Nice.
Tower, hello, Osprey 558 at Zulu turning into Yankee for Yankee 9.
There he is in the little Phoenix.
558, Local Tower, good evening, continue taxi Yankee.
MPS gaming's off.
Yankee 8 runway 33.
Continue taxi via Zulu Yankee and Yankee Osprey 558.
Off he goes, delivering gin to the people of Indonesia. Dominique, welcome.
Osprey 2472, runway 33, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, Osprey 2472.
Yeah, 100%. They've changed something with the VATSIM audio on the servers, haven't they, Mike? It's buggered a lot of volumes up. Hopefully, with the new headset, you guys can hear me a lot more clearly over the ATC in the background. I know that was an issue with my previous headset that I'm keen to try and address.
Continue taxi Alpha 11, Osprey 4985.
But it's Osprey Gin 0%, Doc. It's alcohol free.
Osprey Fahrenheit, airborne. Thank you for service. I go to Unicom 122.8. Bye.
Cheers.
That on TARA. He's got the lineup. Yankee 8 for us. Yeah, juniper flavoured water, Christopher, yeah. There's the wigwags. All the guard lights. And Yankee 8.
Osprey 495 via Alpha 11, line up and wait.
Via Alpha 11, line up and wait, runway 32 right, Osprey 495.
Information Alpha, hello buddy. You got your feet on the ground, or are you watching us in the cruise over the Atlantic somewhere again? I tried some alcohol-free gin, Christopher, when I went on holiday to Mauritius back in September, because they had it inside the BA lounge, and it was nice, but it wasn't blow your mind really good. And you could definitely taste a significant difference. Oh, he's up my chuff, giving me a little rectal exam. It's where he opens the window and just puts his finger out. Hopefully without a glove.
495 after airborne, monitor Unicom, runway 32 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, straight right.
I should have left my APU on just to give him a whole load of exhaust.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Off he goes. Gee, look at the size of that gully. Oh.
Okay, 353, runway 33, line up wait.
Runway 33, line up and wait, recap 353. Put all this on now. Ding, ding, ding. Just getting airborne now in the fog. Oh, actually. 0.2 down. Thanks. You just reminded me, actually, Rab, that I needed to set my trim. So we'll use most of the runway from Yankee 8 that we've been given. Just gives us an extra few feet. Lovely. There's our departure. And we're happy with all that. That's all set and the overhead panel looks good. Information Alpha, it's really bad quality. They're pretty rubbish, but with the Horizon Simulations mod, you get Flubberwire A321X level of depth of system simulation into the A320. So you're basically paying for a model, an exterior model, to be tweaked by a freeware development group, if that makes sense.
Global Tower from Alarm, Recat 6437, fully established localizer, left runway 33.
Lovely.
Okay, 6437, Global Tower, runway 33, continue approach, number 1. Continue approach, number 1, Recat 6437. Recat 353, departure frequency offline, monitoring Unicom after airborne, runway 33, clear for takeoff, bye-bye.
After departure, monitor Unicom and 33 clear takeoff, Redcap 353.
Kuala Lumpur Tower, good evening. Batik 388, Alpha 10, holding short runway 32 right.
There we go, flex.
Batik 388, Alpha Tower, good evening, hold short runway 32
set.
right, at Alpha 11.
Holding short runway 32 right.
Little issue there.
Batik 388.
It's rectified itself. 100 knots. Long takeoff here with the D rate that I've put into it. We're going to use most of the runway. Here we go. V1. Rotate. V2. Remember, we're super long, so gentle rotations. 3 degrees a second on the Airbus, isn't it? And then we just gently bring her up into the sky. Positive rate, gear up. And we change to departure, or in this case, 1228. And out we go. 1,000 foot, autopilot 1 engaged, and thrust lever climb. Set. Lumber traffic, Redcap 353 is 1,500 feet, Mythos 1 Foxtrot departure. Just a little announcement, say what we're doing. Look at that, the atmospherics, folks. Woo. That's mega. Beautiful scenery. I'm not sure how many announcements we've got on the Luke Air tool. Let's try the duty-free one. 3 flaps S, let's clean her up. And ground spoilers disarmed. Look at that! Double rainbow! Hopefully we don't fly through it, because it will be full of Skittles, for those of you who've seen the advert from years ago. And they might all go into the engine and melt into molten sugar, which will be quite bad, I'm sure. Touch anything, it'll turn. That's the one. Yeah. Oh no, I can't even touch my yoke because it becomes Skittles. The fog and the atmospherics are insane. today. The sim just looks better and better all the time. Imagine what this is going to look like when they release the next update with the atmospheric improvements as well. Oof. It'll be very, very nice indeed. Out we go with a right turn. How are we doing? Nearly 10,000 feet. I wait to get to 10,000 feet, then I have to run downstairs and sort the dog out because Loki's nomming on his foot, apparently. Although hopefully he knows what that means. Hopefully he's just heard that and he's now thinking, oh god, I better stop nomming before Daddy comes down. Yeah, he has. Yeah, watching you. Oh, I love my ring camera in there. We've got Loki cam inside the living room. Brilliant. Let's get that retracted. Nose wheel lights off. Well, the nose lights are off. Runway turn off lights off. 10,000 feet. It's through transition at 11. Standard pressure. Standard pressure. And 330 to continue the climb up. Once we get through this cloud and rain, in fact, look at that. My goodness, the weather's insane. So thinking about things like icing as well, it's a factor here, isn't it, really? Beautiful views, insane views. Future welcome. Uh, 11,000 RAB. I think it'd be 13,000 for the arrivals though. Look at these clouds, jeez. Crossing the equator today from north to south. Doc says on our route, clouds usually are very high in this region, up to flight level 300. Wow. Along with a bit of choppy, and says you might have to keep them seatbelt signs on for a little while longer. What do you folks think then, sound-wise or microphone-wise? Is it is it a big improvement on the previous headset and microphone setup, or is it a little improvement? 15. I reckon that's good enough. We're AirAsia, low-cost carrier. We don't care about this kind of thing. Turbulence and people hurting themselves. That noise, if you had any there, weird noises and clicks, would have been me adjusting my headset because it's squeezing my brain. Good to hear. Crazy what one bit of kit does. Andrew, good morning. Tomorrow's going to be a really fun day. I was going to preview the Pilatus PC-12 by SWS, which is something I've been enjoying now for about a week and a half, flying it around behind the scenes, but they haven't quite got another. They haven't quite got the previewable version ready, if that makes sense. So they don't have. They don't want to get to. They want to have previews from a particular package once it's ready, with a few things that they're looking to fix are done, and that I don't think is going to happen by tomorrow anyway. So it was a bit of a toss-up between that and the other option, and we put the vote to those of you in the lounge within Discord. either do we tomorrow live stream a preview of the PC-12 around New Zealand, we've got a route set up for that, or do we head out of the new MK Studios Dublin airport, not Dublin, Malaga, different location entirely, MK Studios Malaga, and we hop over to the new Leeds Bradford by Orbex. It's a version 2 that they're releasing very, very soon. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. And in fact, I think I might have more information about the price. Let me find it. Leeds. It's releasing on Thursday, 5 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, if that's what AEST means. Where is it? Basically, to anybody who already owns version 1 of Leeds Bradford, they there we go. They're going to get a 73% discount on the release price of 27 Australian dollars 21 cents. So 27.21. 27.21. Is it 73? Which is a 19.86 discount. Which then makes it only 7 Australian dollars, just over 7 Australian dollars. If we convert that into pounds, Leeds Bradford version 2 is only going to be £3.86, which is really good. Really, really good. That's the pricing strategy for an update on a remake of an airport. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow, having a little look at the new Leeds Bradford version 2 from Orbex. Still not great that they're charging, but like London City, it's a complete new remake, and it does look entirely different, to be fair. So when you look at that and that price, and you compare that against what MK Studios do, where they charge you full price again, basically, for version 2, it's night and day in comparison between the two companies, really. Tazadam, thank you very much for all of the ATC and the rest of the folks on tower and departure and everything else too. Really appreciate that. Okay, now we're at 23,000 feet. Let's have a little look at our Volanta map for today. Here we go. We're going to be brushing into a little bit of Singapore airspace. There's us now, just to the southwest of Malacca City. Ian's ahead of us, Osprey 2472 in the 737-800. There we go. He's in the passenger version. I think it displayed him as a cargo variant, but we can't... It doesn't know the difference between the two, effectively. Some great screenshots. Oh, no way, it actually got the correct livery as well. That's insane.
Kuala Lumpur traffic,
Brahim's Airline Catering.
50 knots for
MPS is up here, Osprey 5908. Leading the pack. Sugoku's up as well, Osprey 4905. In the A330-900. And then we've got Malaysian 527 as well, that's just departed. Graham as well, he's flying along in the Batik Air 738. Look at that. I never knew it was part of the Line Group. Little logo there. That's a cool livery on the tail, isn't it? Look at that. Very nice. What else have we got? Zato in his A320. He's in the retro one, which he painted, by the way, folks. You can download that for Osprey on flightsim.to. Yet to put it on the website yet, though, because I haven't had a chance to get around to doing it. But looking really good. Look at the metallic engines. Oof. Do need to fly in that at some point. Lovely, lovely, lovely livery as always. David's up and airborne. Osprey 490. Just departed. And that's everybody. Happy days. Let's get our screenshots put in then. We've got 4 of them so far today. We've got vicinity thunderstorms in the area. Of Jakarta, so we're going to be having a little look at that, keeping a solid eye on those. There you go, cumulonimbus to the south and southwest of the airport, 7,000 meters visibility. Cumulonimbus around the airfield there, look, 1,800, broken 1,900, very narrow spread again, and thunderstorms. So an interesting arrival ahead of us by the looks of it there, as we head over to Indonesia's Jakarta airport. That's my camera view that I can't seem to get rid of. There is an A330 around us somewhere, I've got no idea where though. Batik Motif, originally from Indonesia, Doc says, that tail there on the Batik 738 that we just looked at. Exactly behind us and up. When we get a little higher, hopefully we'll spot them. Unless we can see it outside here, let's have a little look. Ah, there he is. The ominous shadow of an A330 lingering in the background, watching over its baby A321 friend. Doc says Foxtrot 11 for our real flight that's just landed. Jolly good. Was exactly behind us and up. Those of you still using the affiliate links on Contrail for us as well, thank you very much. Just had another email saying someone else today has purchased something using the affiliate link. Appreciate it, whoever it is. Oh, and another one actually as well. We had to take the dog yesterday to the vets for his annual boosters, his vaccinations. And every year that we've gone over the last 7 years or so, it's just utter carnage. It's basically an annual fight with our dog to try and make sure that he doesn't kill a vet and to make sure that he gets his vaccinations up to date. But yesterday, he completely surprised everybody, even the vet. Couldn't believe it. He had a little grumble and then that was it. Just kind of got on with it, really. Couldn't believe it. Perhaps it's because he's not in pain anymore. That's what somebody said. Maybe he's not in pain with his leg anymore, and because of that, he didn't need to feel so defensive. But either way, very happy. And we have been pretty much shrouded in fog here since yesterday as well. David's going through some heavy rain. Yeah, we've just gone through that actually. It's a really cool departure. We've got more to come in Jakarta. 3,000 till cruise. Tasdam, no worries at all, thank you very much. Yeah, when Kuala Lumpur gets updated by the Secret Studio in January, we'll fly back in for certain and have a little look to see what the differences are. Lovely job that's done. Fantastic. Oh, I knew I'd forgot something. 1237. Didn't tune into the radar frequency, did I? Singapore radar. Singapore radar, good evening, Redcap 353s at flight level 330, passing Sukri.
Redcap 353 Singapore radar, good evening. Flight maintain flight level 330, set squawk 2257.
Singapore radar, Singapore 252, at top descent.
Redcap 353, squawk 2257.
Thank you, squawk 2257, Redcap 353.
Redcap 353, just to confirm, up, there we go, radar identified, maintain 330.
I say 330, Redcap 353.
Singapore 252, descent flight level 150.
Descent flight level 150, Singapore 252.
Ooh. He's got his mic halfway down his throat. So, Singapore airspace, which means we should have Singapore City down here. That there, in fact, just under that cloud, I think might be Changi. Oh. Not 100% sure. We'll have a little look as we get closer. Direct Anito, Cap 333.
Osprey 495, radar identified, maintain flight level 370.
Anito, 144 nautical miles direct to. And then we'll be back to Unicom, which is 1228, already in the box. Is there an event going on at the moment in this part of the world? Just noticed a large volume of pilots flying towards Manila, in fact, out of Singapore. It's not the City Pair event, is it? Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what I've just noticed though.
Singapore radar, hello.
While I was looking at this.
Osprey 558 at 310
oh my god! What the heck is that?
Osprey 558 Singapore radar, good evening.
That's over Shenzhen, I think. Is it? Oh no, Zhangzhou. Xiamen-Gaoqi Airport. And there's Hong Kong over there, just on the edge of this. What is that? ZSAM.
Osprey 55.
Let's have a look at the METAR inside the live chat then.
350.
Crikey.
350 initially, Osprey 558.
Oh, nothing there. How interesting, but what? Weird. Cav OK. Let's try Hong Kong, because it was right on the edge of that, wasn't it? Weird. That's not 090 at 5. Can't just be a cloud system.
Singapore 441, contact Singapore approach 124.6.
That's a horrendous weather system.
Singapore approach 124.3, Singapore 441, have a nice day, goodbye.
Singapore 441, negative 124.6.
124.6, 441.
Very bizarre, that. Okay, so that's Singapore City. Changi is underneath that cloud. We won't be able to see it on this routing with the cloud there being in the way. We might see it as we pass down this side, looking back though. But I'm not sure. It's number 2, isn't it, that we want? We'll keep an eye on it though. Might be COVID-23 out of another lab. Right, so what we got? So next week, at some point we're going to preview the... we probably won't preview it actually, it'll likely be on release, after release, that PC-12 from SWS. Very, very impressed with it though, folks, I've got to say. Really, really nice bit of work from them. We've got to do a Robin Yemby flight at some point, don't we? Because we've not gone to see Santa yet on the channel for this year.
Batik 388 Singapore radar, squawk 2242.
Squawk 2242, Batik 388.
VMworld, MSFS, they released Arlington yesterday. I think it was yesterday for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So there's another Texas airport in the sim now. As we said, Leeds Bradford earlier, it's about £4 for a pre-existing owner of Leeds Bradford to upgrade to version 2. We'll be looking at that tomorrow. And MK Studios have released Malaga Airport as well. That was 3 days ago now. 4th busiest airport in Spain is Malaga. And the Just Flight Vulcan's out. Who's bought that actually, out of curiosity, and what do you guys think so far? And would you want to see a stream with the Vulcan? There's a lot going on in the sim world at the moment, isn't there?
Good evening, Dynasty 015. 12 miles from
It's very difficult to keep on top of.
With you.
Dynasty 015 Singapore radar, good evening. Set squawk 2222.
Squawk 2222, Dynasty 015.
Yeah, Gemma Clark as well, yeah, you've removed all the Pilot Plus static aircraft, haven't you? You put a file on flightsim.to that does that, nice work. We've not been to Pilot Plus Bristol for a little while actually, I do like that airport scenery, it's very good. I'm hoping to, like the fog that's currently sat over the UK, certainly where I live, I'm hoping the fog stays present by tomorrow as well. We're expecting more snow in the UK in various locations, mainly further north. And that's one way that I'm hoping we'll get some juicy weather into Leeds Bradford tomorrow.
Osprey 558, request your Mach number.
Our current Mach number for 558 is 0.785.
There's Singapore Airport there, Changi.
Osprey 558, roger.
Right off in the distance.
Batik 388,
Sorry, I might have missed you out, so radar identified to you.
Doc says, look at windy.com, there's the same circle on the weather radar that we've just looked at on Volanta, but if you change to satellite view, it's clear with no clouds at all. Very weird.
And we're at Mach decimal 776.
I take 338, roger. Osprey 558, climb flight level 370.
370, Osprey 558.
Yeah, good old meters per second in that wind thing in the METAR there for China.
C015 radar identified.
They do things very differently.
About 2 Alpha arrival, expect LS runway 02 left, report tower descent.
We're going to be handed off in a moment to Unicom.
About 2 Alpha arrival, expect runway 2 approach. Expect IRS runway 02 left, dynasty 015.
Singapore 9019, Singapore radar.
Singapore 9019, go ahead.
Singapore 9019, due duplicate squawk reset 2245.
Squawk reset 2245, Singapore 9019.
Thank you.
Singapore radar, good evening. Osprey 490, flight level 288, 4350, and inbound Sucre.
Osprey 490, Singapore radar, good evening. Set squawk 2240.
2240, Osprey.
Michael, good morning, buddy. Hope you're well. It's been, I think, what, 10 days since our last live stream. It's been a little gap, but I've been incredibly busy. I've done 500 miles on my motorbike already, as well, going up to the Midlands towards, well, basically, well, I said my mum's house, but it's also where I grew up. We're still renovating that, getting it all fixed up to rent.
Flat flight level 350, Osprey.
And then I was riding to work as well over the last couple of days, pushing it a little bit, nervously, because of the what you call it, ice and the temperature, because it's been ruddy cold.
Enjoy your flight. Bye bye.
Osprey 508, contact Jakarta.
I am, David. I've passed, and I've got my dash cam working. I've got a dash cam on my motorbike, which I was struggling to get working properly. Turns out the instructions were entirely useless. I had to figure it out myself. And there's a switch wire that I had to twist into the positive and then add it into my Thunderbox terminal under the seat, which regulates all the power to various devices for me. Makes it very easy to unplug and plug in accessories onto the bike, and protects the battery as well. But I was thinking about doing a video showing how to install the Takeoff K6, but it's a little bit weird for a flight simulation channel. But I figured it might be something that other people might find very useful, but kind of a bit pointless for a channel like mine to do a motorbike dashcam installation video. But people will be like, what the? Has he been hacked? So I haven't bothered. Yeah, most things are sorted now, Ian, thanks. All the carpet, everything's done, everything's painted. We filled the second skip, and we've got a load of appliances being delivered to get all of those wired up ready. Then it would just need a final clean, and we can get a nice family in there to enjoy it, hopefully, and look after it for us, he says. That's the plan anyway. The one thing I'm going to take a little while getting used to, though, as we discussed in the lounge the other day in Discord, it's the It's filtering. Certainly on the M25, coming in and out of London is full of stupid people that actively steer into your way to try and block you because they don't like you making more progress than them when they're stuck in traffic. So I found that quite difficult. But then I was kind of watching a couple of other motorbikes zoom past between a line of traffic, and I'm doing maybe 5 or 10 miles an hour at most, more than the cars around me, and I'm filtering really carefully, trying to show a lot of consideration for everyone else as I kind of just carefully poodle through, and I had this Kawasaki go past me, doing probably about 30, 40 miles an hour faster than the traffic around. I thought, this guy's gonna destroy himself.
Cheers, mate.
I thought, he's making more progress because people are actively going, oh, I'm going to get out of the way of this guy on the bike. But I don't want to ride like that. That's not what. I want to ride proficiently and carefully and competently and almost professionally. Precisely.
Airspace 190, roger.
It's a grey area, James, and it depends on the circumstances. If you filter the way that I was filtering, you're not breaking the law because you're filtering, or lane splitting as it's also called. But once the vehicles start to do more than, say, 15 miles an hour and you start to continue to progress through, at that point the law angles towards undertaking, which is illegal. So you've got to be very, very careful. For me, that's a nice hard set rule in my head. If everyone's going more than 15 miles an hour, then I'll just find a nice gap and I'll sit until they slow down, and then I'll look to filter again. That's my little rule that I'm going to employ throughout my riding life. Doc's done more digging into that weird thing there. In fact, that does make sense because it's almost perfectly circular, like a radar, isn't it? Radar right in the middle there. Xiamen Airport.
10% error, November 301 Sierra Romeo. This is just a mic check.
Does make sense. Doc's saying there appear to be bursts of electromagnetic interference, EMI. The rays are all centered on the location of the weather radars. As the weather radars rotate and receive interference, they interpret it as weather return in the direction they're pointing at the time the interference signal is received. So there you go. Interesting. It's either that or they're doing something and trying to hide it. Not too far-fetched with the Chinese, I'm sure. Commentator says he's commuted a few times in the summer, but it's only 20 minutes of A roads for him. Oof. That sounds rather nice. So I've got mainly motorway, and then a couple of A roads, a few other bits. But my goodness, how fun is it? I rode home the other day. I finished at midnight, and it was -1 or -2 outside. A little bit worried about ice and all that, because my kit's pretty good, but my goodness, my heated grips weren't able to compete with the actual cold against my hands and my thumbs. I thought I was going to get home and have like frostbite on my thumbs. They were so cold. But it's a long old commute, but you're really looking forward to summer evenings. Summer riding home at midnight where it's just beautifully temperatured. Nice. It's going to be very nice. I'm looking forward to summer. Even spring riding in the bike.
Beacon 721 radar identified. Cleared Singapore Arama 1 Alpha arrival. Expect LS runway 02 left.
With centre online now.
Flight level 150.
Yeah, I've got guys at work, Grab, that still ride in regardless. 1323 for annex frequency.
Descend flight level 150.
Descend flight level 150.
It's a good way to get.
353, contact Jakarta Control 132.3.
Jakarta Control 1323 for RedCap 353. Thanks. Good night. Look at that. Almost full ATC all the way. It's fantastic. Jakarta Control, good evening. RedCap 353's passing Anito, flight level 330. Sam, hello.
RedCap 353, Jakarta Control, good evening. Maintain flight level 330, clear the Bunik to hotel arrival, ILS runway 25 right.
Oh, they've changed it back. Maintain 330 and cleared Bunik to hotel arrival ILS 25 right, RedCap through 353. So, flight plan, WIII arrivals 25 right, and it's the Buni to hotel via Priok.
Singapore 146, for separation, turn right heading 050.
Heading 050, Singapore 146.
Commentator says his first summer of riding a motorbike, he didn't really think of anything. I don't think he did anything but ride. And then Rab agrees, saying that like the time he got home from work, had his dinner, jumped on the bike, and then ended up in Oban 127 miles away. That's fantastic. Tell you what, I never appreciated it before, but it is bloody addictive, isn't it?
To hotel arrival, expect ILS approach runway 25 right.
Really addictive.
370, Bunik to hotel arrival, runway 25 right, for space for 95.
So we've gone back now to the original flight plan that we had, which we initially planned for 25 right and the ILS 25 right as well via Priok and the Bunny 2 hotel, but the weather earlier changed, so we then reassessed and changed that plan to ILS 07 right for the expected arrival, but it's changed back because of the weather. It's actually a slightly shorter arrival procedure nowadays actually as well for this one, because we're approaching on the correct side of the airport for the straight-in approach almost. So BDAC, then 144 degrees for 60 miles to Bunik, max 270 knots at or above flight level 220, and then Ramel max 270 knots as well, still kind of a bit quick through flight level 170 at or above, and then Luvax at or below 12,000 feet, maximum 240 knots, heading 180 degrees for 14.6 miles to Bibmi, 7,000 feet. That's quite a steep descent there. And then again 14 miles Bibmi to 3,000 at Priok, max 190 knots, before heading on to the ILS runway 25 right, which looks like this. So 3,000 feet from Priok is the initial approach fix, and then RCAP mandatory 2,000 feet, turning inbound 247 degrees for the course onto the ILS, which is on frequency of 110.9er. So 3-degree glide path angle or glide slope, bringing us towards the threshold, and the minimums today are 290 feet. Rab, trying to do your finest impression of John Wayne. Its longest ride, 567 miles. That's pretty long. Is that three Phillips? Yeah, the miles do run away. I've done an hour on it, and if the temperature was a little warmer, I would easily on my bike just be able to go for an entire tank, 200 miles, stop, fill up, and then carry on. It's very capable and very effortless to ride. This hasn't gone in, so 110.9, and course F247.
And can you please repeat the approach for Osprey 558?
Osprey 558, exit Bunik 2 hotel arrival. Expect ILS, runway 25 right approach.
Okay, so descent. Let's have a little look.
25 right via the Boonie 2 hotel arrival, Osprey 558.
We Jakarta, we information Charlie.
146, turn left, proceed direct Iguna.
What we got? So we on my notes. Charlie, 1330 arrival, 2425 left and right, departing 25 left, 25 right, 180 at 9.
Singapore 146, turn left, proceed direct Iguna.
So 9 knot crosswind for us. How fun. 7,000 metres visibility. Few clouds 18 and broken 19, 28 degrees. Dew point 27, so very narrow spread. And the QNH 1010. Mode Charlie on all taxiways, it says, as well. So 1010. I get about 200-ish, 200 to 210 miles out of a tank on mine, and it's a 20-litre tank, I think. Yeah, 20-litre tank. About 58-ish miles per gallon on average, but again it depends on how you ride. But I've noticed on the motorway, in fact at 50 to 60 miles per hour I get almost 65 to 70 miles per gallon, which is incredibly efficient. At 70 I get about between 55 to 60 miles per gallon. .28 for the temperature. So we'll put all of this in provisionally, and the wind 180 at 9. Is there a transition level on here? I don't think I saw one.
To hotel arrival, ILS runway 25 right.
No, there isn't. Interesting. 1010, so we'll go for 14,000 feet. I'll add 1,000 to the transition altitude. We'll see what we get though from the controller, and that Barrow minimum's 290. So that's all done. We can also have a little look at the airport's diagrams. 25 right is what we're expecting, which is that one there in the middle of the 3. Or to the left hand side of the 2, to the right of the terminal, on approach. It's 3,600 metres long. And we're going to get off at November 6 or November 7, which actually we could probably get away with config 3.
Confirm your flight plan ends at waypoint Anito.
Direct attitude, Parik Spirit.
Parik Spirit, Roger, after Anito can proceed to Papa Kilo Papa VOR.
We'll pop that land config flat 3 mode on as well.
You're going to have to go a little bit slower on that.
Roger, after Anito, and proceed to
18 miles per gallon in Andy's M3. Oof.
After Antu, proceed to Papa Kilo.
I've been putting Shell V-Power in my motorbike, and it gets about 10 miles more range, which isn't very much for the price that you pay, but it's a much cleaner, purer fuel with a lot less ethanol in it, which in the UK we seem to be just pouring into fuel in greater quantities over time. So E10, not a fan of that at all. I put BP Ultimate in the other day, and the motorbike was like, it wasn't popping and banging, but you can tell it was riding as if it still had E10 in. It wasn't. It was a little bit rougher with the ethanol and all the rest of it. I put V-Power in, which is 97 RON, I think it is, so a lot less ethanol, much purer petrol. Esso is meant to be pretty good with their Supreme as well in the UK, 99 RON in fact. So I might try that, but immediately smoother, better power transitions. The rest of it, yeah. Boring fuel torque. Well, I've got to take my car to Kia in 2 days because it's all of the infotainment systems in the inside are all just bust. and I'm furious about it because I've only had the car a year. So they're getting it serviced. I'm getting a courtesy car, and they're not getting the courtesy car back until they fix my car. That's how I'm going to play it. We'll see what happens with that.
123.8.
6 miles per gallon, Sam. Oof. That's shocking.
3.85.
It's basically you just lived at a petrol station then.
123.85 Singapore 146.
Right, I had a quick run downstairs to check on the first officer, Captain Loki, make sure he's all okay. As soon as he's chewing his feet. What I might try and do over the next sort of, well, I suppose it's winter now, isn't it? So it's not so much riding, the kind of riding conditions that you want, but what I might do is look to put a few videos together and a couple of rides. I'd love to do a tour, like the NC 500, is it, in Scotland? That all looks pretty cool. Rab says he was out on his Honda a few years ago, suddenly cut out his fuel gauge, had 2 bars. Was waiting for recovery when he noticed he had covered 210 miles and was out of fuel. Oof.
Jakarta Control, Osprey,
do motorbikes still have reserve tanks? So my fuel warning light comes on with a 50 or 60 miles left in the tank, I think it is. But again, that depends on the speed, so it will recalculate the amount of range you've got based on the speed that you're riding at. So at 70, it will say 50 odd miles, but then when I drop it down to a 30 mile an hour limit, that will drop to about 35 miles range instead. But usually, if you're going that speed, you'll have a fuel station nearby. Yeah, I'm looking forward to summer. Well, I say I'm looking forward to summer, I'm not looking forward to my potential new commute if I get promoted and I move elsewhere. Let's have a look see how people are getting on with their screenshots so far. Oh, APS is in the 737-900, very nice. To Goku. Zato in his Retrojet A320. For those of you who haven't seen it, there it is. David's up. Graham in his Batik Air. Oh, loads. A couple more screenshots. Oh. Graham, I see your external power's still connected. Look at that! What's caused that? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Usually it can tell and it gets rid of it when you push back. I don't know. It'll be elsewhere. It'll be elsewhere in London, commentator. Hopefully still West London. I just don't know. Oh, Andy. Yeah, no. I don't think they have that anymore. Andy, they're saying the old Japanese motorbikes used to have a lever which you switched when your main tank was almost empty, and it then moved over to a reserve tank, which gave you an extra 20 miles. Where is he? Zato. With some more screenshots. I can see 2. Can't see any more, but it looks very good. It depends whether I get promoted, Neil. I've been waiting for 3 months to find out now. And I find out in about 2.5 weeks, roughly. 19th or 20th of December, I believe, is when we're going to find out. Me and everyone else that's put in for the promotion process this year. At that point, I have to move off from what I currently do, and unfortunately have to go and do something else. Reluctantly, but I don't have a choice in the matter. Copper descent, just tickling into view now. 150 miles away, roughly there. But that's all input, and we've checked all our data. There's Preoc, and that's the approach. Yeah, I would be working to come back, Neil, definitely. I need to be around the airport, really. That's what I enjoy. Wonderful little coastline. This is a route we've never done before, and both of these sceneries have been out for a long time, but we just haven't ever used them, which is madness. So it's nice to do something, and you put a little light on 2 rather underrepresented sceneries, I guess. Rab, have you tried the new Kuro version 3? 787-8. That's a nice update. Brought it very much in line with what the 787-9 can do. So we've got a full suite of great 787s now. Horizon simulations as well, for those of you who don't know, are going to be moving across and doing a little bit of work on the 787-10 as well, which is pretty cool. Neil, the Latin VFR A320, Latin VFR A321neo. In itself, on its own, no. It's default A320 systems with a few bits that are even more naff, but Horizon Simulations have modded it, and they basically put all of the fly-by-wire A321nx work into this to make it usable. So you can use it on VATSIM. It can do automated holds, it can do all the stuff that A321nx can do, but you're in an A321neo instead, although you do have to pay for the Latin VFR aircraft to begin with, which is a bit frustrating. But I suppose it depends on how much you want an A321neo. With the Horizon Sim mod, it's basically a fly-by-wire A321X that's a bit stretched. They've tweaked the way it flies, the performance as well, in line with the A321neo. It's a really good bit of work that they've put into this. Andy, ooh, yeah, no idea. They pulled it from the beta. Apparently too many issues about instability, like crashed desktops and all that sort of stuff. There is a part of the community that thinks actually there's more to it. That's what they've gone with, because it sounds a bit more realistic and tangible, but a fair few people commenting on the news saying that they actually think it might have had something to do with the fact that Fly-by-Wire had found a load of files inside the Innobuilds A320, which is a rather interesting bit of controversy that dropped last week or the week before within the community. It took everybody, including myself, by surprise. But that's kind of fizzled away, so no one really knows what the situation is with that now. Whether there was any truth to it, but I suppose it's being dealt with behind the scenes, I guess.
Flight number 250. Descent flight number 250, Indonesia 123.
120. So we go auto brake. Auto brake low is probably going to be more than sufficient for this. It's a nice long runway. We'll go config 3 for flaps and reverse thrust. We'll just see what happens, really. I did when we flew this into, was it Alson Vigra? Can't remember now. Somewhere up north, Northern Europe. When we flew this in the other week, it was quite nice. Certainly the takeoff behaviour, as you would have seen at the start of the stream, is really good with what Horizon Simulations have done to improve it.
Roger, direct to Munich after Kilo Cap
Body created. Okay, start off at 10 minutes, report and back.
We're cool, body created.
210 at 5 for the new winds. Visibility is still patchy at 7,000 metres. But the dew point and the temperature are now matching at 27 each. So that's going to suggest a decrease in visibility for us now. By the time we arrive, that 7,000 metres visibility might drop to 6,000 or even worse. So that's something that we'll keep an eye on and consider when we do get a bit closer. We'll be looking at the weather around us and what we can see out the window. So that's now, temperature is 27, the dew point is also 27. QNH is still 1010, which isn't really particularly low, and 210 at 5. And that's all more than likely the last time we're going to amend that page.
Jakarta control for green 135, request descent.
Brief factory fire at that, descent flight level 260.
Central level 260, super green 135.
Humidity 100%, Doc. Oof. That sounds uncomfortable. I mean, it's -2 here at the moment in fog. But it feels like -5 in the fog. That's the feel like temperature. What have we got? Humidity is 98% here. Neil says he's looking forward to the PC-12. We'll do lots of Oz RFDS flights. That's the Royal Flying Doctor Service, isn't it? With that, good price too. Absolutely. I was looking, as I was saying earlier on, Neil, I was looking to preview that tomorrow. I've had it for about a week and a bit. SWS have been, although I'm a little bit frustrated because apparently we've all been told not to preview it until we get 0.99 or version 1. I think somebody's already been able to preview it, which is a bit odd. But generally very impressed with what they've done. I've been enjoying it. I've been hopping around New Zealand, which has been quite nice. Kind of getting to grips with what the SWS PC12 has to offer, and it's a very nice bit of aeroplane add-on, to be honest. So I don't think we're going to preview it anymore, but I think maybe near to or after release we'll be hopping around New Zealand in it. We're going to head out of Palmerston North. We'll zip over to Napier, I think it was, and then hop to somewhere else. I can't remember now the exact routing off the top of my head, but we'll be doing 2 hops with that. Ian, that'd be great when that does. If they ever do that, that'd be quite cool. Parallel 42 are making that kind of visual immersion pack, isn't it? Aren't they? So that's the broken view, isn't it? So you'll have the kind of that cloud effect over the wings and things like that. I'm trying to think what it's called now off the top of my head.
Level 250, to Brigade 435.
Canadian Flight Sim says the Vulcan looks pretty good. He's also really looking forward to Heat Blur's F14, which sounds like it might be coming around January now. Have they released a price for the F14? Oh, they're great fun, but I just don't understand the point in military jets, fighter jets, in like fighter jets, particularly inside Microsoft Flight Simulator. Because you can't go and do missions like you can with them on DCS. The Vulcan's remarkably good. Just Flight have done a great job with that.
Osprey 598, when ready, descend via star flight level 250.
Osprey 598, when ready, descent to 250. Osprey 598.
Yeah, you can't really appreciate or enjoy a military fighter jet properly outside of DCS. Just Flight have done with the Vulcan. They've added in. They put it on their Facebook the other day as like a little bit of a surprise announcement to a lot of people. And I hadn't even realised it was in the preview version that I had either. But it turns out that you can emergency jettison the payloads, which is quite cool. And then you can watch the bomb doors open and all of the bombs kind of all drop out of the belly of the aeroplane and all that sort of thing, and then close back up again. And that's quite cool. I've not seen anything like that be done in such a nice way in a product before. Evil Acer, thanks buddy. Been with us for 4 months now. Thanks for all your support. 4 months of great content. Looking forward to more, he says. Appreciate it. And not too far before we start thinking about beginning the countdown for Flight Sim Expo 2024, which is well, I still haven't had the annual leave authorised for it, but I've got all of the flights booked and the hotel booked. I just need work to give me actually approve the time off. One year from January 14th, Rab. Very exciting.
Brigade 435, level 250.
3435, leaving my airspace, my tiny comment.
Andy, that's pretty cool. I wish I understood DCS enough for that. But I feel like you need loads of kit with buttons and dials and quick switches and all of that sort of stuff for a proper experience on DCS. I just don't have any of that. Yeah, still going via Phoenix, living the dream. Yeah, that's never going to happen, James. Unfortunately. That will never be a feature inside Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, living the dream. So I'm going to go BA Heathrow to Phoenix, and then I'm going to connect on a southwest flight to Vegas, and then from there obviously go through Flight Sim Expo, and then on Monday I'll be flying back from Vegas to Phoenix, and then Phoenix to Heathrow. 40 miles to top of descent. David, so the landing dispatch screen it basically gives you the stats or the limitations of the landing runway that you're heading towards. The landing en route screen gives you the performance for the landing, if that makes sense. I'll think of a better way to explain that one actually.
598, contact Jakarta radar 123.85.
Contact Jakarta.
That's going to be our next frequency, 12385.
85. Thank you for service. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Jakarta radar. Oh, living the dream, how odd. Maybe you booked the code share via BA.com by accident. You should have booked BA. It's an A350-1000. I didn't realise American Airlines flew out to Phoenix though, to be honest. Unless you've booked an American Airlines code share living the dream actually, but operated by BA.
001, leaving my space, my tower Unicorn 122, goodbye.
What's the flight number? Keeping an eye on that top of descent marker. We want to try and get top of descent just a few miles beforehand, and then begin the descent as we cross. Eddie, good morning. David says, in response to the Vulcan, when was using it ever a decision for buying a sim plane? Oh, nice, Neil. I forgot you had that West Coast trip, actually. For those of you who don't know, Neil runs the Jet A1 Photos it's a Flickr page, but he's also on Facebook, aren't you? I think, from memory. Oh, living the dream. How interesting. Maybe the BA A350's oversold already then, because of the maybe because of Flight Sim Expo. Because I struggled to book flights to Vegas pretty much the day after I started looking to. They announced Vegas, so I started to look, and I struggled to book flights. Although, in fairness, I was using my Avios companion voucher, so that did limit me a little bit more, because I wanted to keep the travel as cheap as possible. It's still going to cost me a few £1,000s to get to Flight Sim Expo and back, with flights and hotel, which is it's an expensive trip for those of us in the UK, isn't it? Let's face it. Ed's asking about your damper. What does it do?
Flight level 260.
Descend via star when ready, flight level 260, Redcap 353. Your damper basically just smooths out the use of the... Where is it? Flight controls. It just smooths it all out, the rudder, effectively. So that all of your inputs with aileron and things are a little bit smoother. It's probably the easiest way to explain it. But yeah, it reduces... There we go. That's the more accurate way to explain it. Then it's a system used to reduce or dampen the undesirable tendencies of an aircraft to oscillate in a repetitive rolling and yawing motion, which is a phenomenon known as the Dutch roll. Aidan, using my companion voucher to go business, which has only cost me £600 return with BA, and I'm using Avios points for all the rest of it, which is really good. Wow, living the dream. That's a really good price. My goodness. Maybe I need to look at St. Lucia for next year's holiday then. Because as it stands at the moment...
32472, contact Jakarta, radar 123.85.
As it stands at the moment, on my household account, me and the missus, we've got 400,000 Avios, and that's having used 90,000 for Flight Sim Expo's flights. But I don't really feel like I'm getting much value from the BA Executive Club scheme with all my Avios, really. So I think next year or year after I might look to try and blow all of the points and one Avios companion voucher, me and the missus, to go away somewhere spectacular. We still want to go to Japan. Maybe I'll go there, not next year but year after. Andy, nice. Lucky boy landed 3 upper class reward flights to LA during the school holidays and all he paid was taxes. That's a remarkable bit of luck. Trying to work out if there's anything big going on elsewhere in the sim world today, because on a weekend usually we have a couple of hundred people tune in. I suppose it depends on the route, doesn't it?
Osprey 5, Osprey 495, descend flight level 270.
Descend flight level 270, Osprey 495.
But we're running a bit late today, aren't we? Oh well. Yeah, Seat Spy is awesome, Andy. I used BA, was it BA Redemption Flight Finder or something like that as a website. It used to be, when it was free, it used to be very, very good. And then they introduced these tiers, so now most of it is hidden away, which means that I can't see all of the award availability that I would otherwise have been able to previously. That's a little frustrating, because it means then you have to search specifically on every single little bit. Every single little flight and sector and date that you want to check.
Flight level 250.
Descend flight level 250, red cap 353.
Pickup 353, contact Jakarta, control 123.85, good day.
Jakarta control 12385 for red cap 353, thanks for the ATC, good night.
Good night.
So we've got to give them the ATIS, which has changed from when we previously chatted about it. It's information echo for the final time, runway 2425 left, 25 right for arrivals, 260. Sorry, 200 at 6.
2472, proceed direct, beep me.
7,000 metres.
Direct beep me.
Spreads come back up though to 27, 26. Jakarta Control, good evening. Redcap 353 A321neo with Echo descending via Bunik 2 Hotel, flight level 250.
Redcap 353, identified. Charlie is correct. Continue descend to 10,000 feet, KNH 1010.
Continue descent 10,000 feet, QNH 1010, Redcap 353. Next phase, so 27, and it's 200 at 6. So still a decent little crosswind. All the rest of it stays the same. James, no, usually quite cheap. Certainly in economy, you can fly over to the States for a couple of £100. See what we got on the Luke Air tool for the descent announcements, if any.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be landing shortly. Please return to your seat. Put your seat in an upright position. Fasten your seatbelt. Secure your tray table to its original position and keep your window shades open. If you have been using any electronic equipment during the flight, please ensure...
How many of you in the chat going to FS Expo 2024 in Las Vegas? Quite a few of you going, or some of you maybe in the chat still maybe thinking about booking it, but haven't quite pulled the pin.
Welcome to Ren Intent. Make 180 at present position. Forget via Charlie, taxi stand off your taxi, have a good day.
1016 for the next frequency.
180 present position, forget via Charlie and taxi to stand off taxi. 4990, thank you, have a good day.
You're welcome, see ya.
That's right off in the distance, is kind of just breaking up.
Jakarta approach, good evening, Osprey 495 heavy inbound Punik, flight level 250.
What we got here, music.
495, descent flight level 130.
It's better.
Descent flight level 130.
Ed, it's automatic in the Airbus. There's no physical yaw damper switch. It's done it as part of the fly-by-wire controls. It's all
353, proceed direct, beep me.
within that. Proceed direct, bib me, Redcap 353. Bib me, confirmed. Direct.
Contact Jakarta Control 132.
So VNAV's just recalculating now, thinking, oh my goodness, we're a little bit above the profile now, so it's going to make sure the throttles are idle and then increase our rate of descent to get back on the VNAV path.
Batik 6862.
That's done, we will commit to that, and the performance page, actually no, that was that. Config 3 is what we've selected. On the RadNav page, 1109 with the inbound course, 247. And the missed approach for this, folks, on the charts is turn right, heading northbound direct to Tikam, that's below 3,000 feet to Luvax at 6,000, or as instructed by air traffic control.
200 degrees, 6 knot, KNH 1010, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 25 right, to the 284.
17,000. QNH 1010, just getting that set ready.
For 5 minute 8, speed 250 knots.
Morgan, welcome.
Speed 250 knots.
There's the VORs, auto tuning in. DKI.
2472, continue descent 6,000 feet. Continue descent 6,000 feet, Osprey 2472.
Which is Jakarta's VOR. It's actually north-east of the airport by about 20 miles, 30 miles maybe.
Takeoff 353, say indicated airspeed.
Indicated 290, Redcap 353.
Confirm 290.
A firm.
Thank you, main. 280 now.
Are you a readability 1 breaking up? Was it maintained 280 knots, Redcap 353?
Takeoff 353, affirm 280 now.
Okay. Lost the VNAV a little bit there, but that's fine. Let's pop the seatbelt signs on. Sending on all the way. Agus, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing.
Indonesia 2284, Charlie Alpha to Delta, passing 1000, climbing 4000.
Indonesia 2284 identified, climb flight level 240, cancel altitude restriction.
Say again for Indonesia 2284.
2284, climb flight level 240, cancel altitude.
Don't forget, tomorrow, 1 o'clock UK time, Chanex 3 Charlie November for the flight number. And we're out of Malaga to fly back to Leeds Bradford. We'll be checking out MSFS's new Malaga International Airport, which is available via Contrail, contrail.shop/LEMG. And we'll be heading over to the new Orbex version 2 of their Leeds Bradford Airport scenery in the PMDG 737-800. Very cool little route and a very nice flight. Look forward to it. That's tomorrow.
Password 598, descend 3000 feet, clear ILS approach runway 25 right.
QNH 1010 and 1010 on the standby instruments.
3000 feet and call back on ILS approach.
Morgan, nice. How many have you got left to tick off? Have you got a few left? So Bidme's got a speed restriction. No, it hasn't. Luvax was 240, but we've been given a direct 2.
As per 598, after pre-op, resume normal speed.
After pre-op, yeah, and normal speed.
Pre-op at 190, so we've got a lot of deceleration ahead of us.
As per 405, proceed direct Bidme.
Direct Bidme, Osprey 495.
Just giving us a slight shortcut.
As per 247 to proceed direct pre-op.
Direct pre-op, Osprey 2472.
Yeah, you've got a way to go yet, Morgan, yeah. That's a long way to go. Stay committed with it.
15 miles from Ramal. 270 for 250, information Echo is aboard. Descending by the Bunny 2 hotel arrival.
As per 558, thank you. Descend flight level 160.
160, Osprey 558.
Thanks, Doc.
As per 2472, continue descent.
10,000.
3,000 feet. Clear ILS approach runway 25 report when established.
Lights and signs. Landing flap 3 is confirmed. And it's in the box. Auto brake low.
Osprey 2472. Redcap 353, continue descent 4,000 feet.
Continue descent 4,000 feet. Redcap 353.
As per 405, continue descent 6,000 feet, KNH 1010.
Hey, look at that. Minimum clean speed, folks, is 242 knots.
Indonesia 2284.
241 knots.
Altitude restriction.
Interesting.
Climb the altitude restriction, Indonesia 2284.
Thank you.
Car approach, Barak 388, with you 260 for 250, and running Kuala Lumpur.
Batik 388, continue descent flight level 160.
Down to 160, Barak 388.
As per 558, say indicated airspeed.
And Osprey 558, we are doing
it's just about right.
speed 272 knots.
Oscar 558, thank you. Reduce speed 240 knots.
240 knots, Osprey 558.
Right, we're all set up.
353, proceed direct pre-op, speed 250 knots.
Direct Preoc, speed 250, Redcap 353.
Jakarta radar, jumpa lagi, Batik 7362 onshore, approaching short runway 25.
Just resubmitting that just to make sure I'm happy with that. Fast Kid, welcome. Thanks for subscribing, buddy.
Affirmative.
Here we go. Time for the descent then. About 15 minutes to landing.
200 degrees 6 knots, KNH 1010.
Let's get LS mode fired up ready. Warm up the ILS system.
We're for takeoff, Batik 7362.
Osprey 2472.
Potentially 10 minutes to landing.
After pre-arc, resume normal speed. Osprey 2472.
So Preoc's got a constraint of 190 knots, but because we've been told to maintain 250, we're going to maintain 250 knots, which means that we have a lot of work to do to decelerate. We might have to make the aeroplane a bit draggy with ground spoilers. He's well above us at 7,500 feet above. In fact, just put that on all really, and then it's just going to do a few thousand above and below.
Osprey 400, thank you. Continue descent, follow 160. Continue descent 160.
There's the current METAR for Jakarta in the live chat. Thanks, Badger.
Jakarta, control,
Variable at 5 knots now, 7,000 meters with vicinity thunderstorms, a few clouds, 1,800 feet cumulonimbus to read icing and turbulence. Broken at 1,900, 27 degrees Celsius, dew point 26, QNH 1010, and no significant changes expected in the next 2 hours, with remarks noted on the METAR of cumulonimbus to the north, which is where we're coming in from. We can see some of them here. There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one.
558, continue descent.
That's not one.
110,000 feet.
That's probably one.
110,000 feet, Osprey 558.
4,250. Coming in hot. Dro, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. Keep smashing the like button, folks, if you've not done so already. T1 Mikkel, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much to the ATC guys, really appreciate it. I'm sure all the others flying along have as well. So yeah, thank you for spending a bit of time with us today during the stream, providing us with some really nice ATC. It's been great, massively appreciated, so thank you very much. There's that jet that's...
353, continue descent 3000, clear ILS approach runway 25 right, report when established.
Departing out. A continued descent 3000, cleared ILS 25 right, report established, Redcap 353.
Osprey 508, wind 200 degrees 6 knots, KNH 1010, runway 25 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 25 right, Osprey 59.
So we'll go back to normal speed.
To confirm established. Osprey 247,
that's interesting.
Runway 23 right.
So let's go through minimum clean.
Continue approach, sequence number 2, 1 traffic, 1 short final.
We're at minimum clean now. Let's just go.
Number 2, 1 more traffic ahead.
Oh, that's right on the edge. Let's get a bit of speed breakout.
Osprey 558, reduce to minimum approach speed.
Minimum approach speed, Osprey 508.
Thank you.
Preoc was mandatory 3, but we've got RCAP mandatory 2000, so we will set 2.
Osprey 405, descent 3000 feet.
And we will work to achieve that.
3000 feet, Osprey 495.
Indonesia 2284, contact Jakarta control.
Now we need to continue to decelerate.
1323, Indonesia 2284.
Batik 736.
ICGR 1090, that's confirmed, correct.
climb level 240 unrestricted Batik 7362.
Super Green 522, approach, hello again.
So you want to head 7 miles, just there through the cloud, the lights. Look at this.
Thank you, wind 200 degrees 6 knot, KNH 1010, 25 left, clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, runway 25 left, KNH 1010, Super Green 522.
Jakarta Batik 6362, request Direct Charlie Alpha.
218.
Follow SID.
Approach.
Follow SID and request to revise the cruising altitude to 270, 7362.
Batik 7362, please say that on the Jakarta control next.
So we'll set 180. That'll hold it nicely.
Please request on Jakarta
2000. Approach is armed. Waiting for it to capture now.
Osprey Fahrenheit, vacated runway November 6.
We're within a 30-degree intercept. There we go, locked star. 2000, glide slopes armed. Just got to 2000 by our caps, that's handled fairly nicely. We're going to arm the ground spoilers. Some of these clouds.
Osprey Fahrenheit, contact the ground 121.
There's some rather big towers over there, look at that.
Nice evening, bye.
Welcome, see you next time.
Pilot 2 engaged.
With runway 25 right, clear to land. Clear to land, Osprey 3472.
7 miles.
Osprey 405, clear for ILS approach runway 25 right, report established.
Thanks, Delta Tango.
Clear for ILS 25 right and will report established Osprey 495.
Redcap 353 is established ILS 25 right.
Redcap 353, thank you. Continue approach 1 traffic on runway.
Continue Redcap 353. Couple of miles now, gear down.
Osprey 405, speed 180 until 8 miles.
Coming up to 5 miles now, so I'm going to start to decelerate the aeroplane. Final approach, let's pause the music. And make sure our charts are ready. Missed approach is 6. Set, ready. Laps 3 for the final stage. We've got cabin secure. No blue. Here we are.
Osprey 558, continue descent 4,000 feet.
Over the coast.
4,000 feet, Osprey 558.
Low visibility with the fog. That's that very narrow spread that we have in the METAR, giving us this foggy kind of conditions.
November 6. Osprey 247, thank you. Contact ground 121.6.
There we are.
121.6.
Settling in.
Thanks for ATC.
Outer marker.
Welcome, good night.
Approach Osprey 495, established ILS 25 right.
Osprey 405, thank you. Continue approach.
Not happy with the.
Continue approach Osprey 495.
Redcap 353, wind 200 degrees 6 knot, KNH 1010, 25 right, clear to land.
25 right, cleared land, Redcap 353. Autopilot off, my controls. Yeah, speed's sitting a bit low, isn't it? Look.
Are you about 3,000 feet at Priok?
We'll expedite, we'll try.
So I'm just watching that.
Perfect, thank you very much. Batik 388, continue descent.
Crikey.
4,000 feet, KNH 1010. Expedite please.
It's the first time trying a flap 3 approach in this. There we are, whack your guesses for our touchdown rating in the live chat, folks, as well.
Thank you very much, my apologies.
6 knot crosswind.
That's great.
Minimum.
Continue.
Continue descent 8,000 feet, KNH 1010.
Looking ahead, beautiful atmospherics. Doc's going for the call sign number as well. Let's see if we can achieve that.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Osprey 558. You can resume your normal speed. No speed restriction.
Oh, 199.
Where's the number speed? Osprey 5.
And decelerating. Reverse green. A little bit of right rudder to keep us on that centre line. 90 knots. Manual brakes.
Welcome 353, welcome to Jakarta. Vacate runway and contact ground 121.6. Have a good day, yeah.
Ooh, messed the tiller up there. Just vacating now, and we'll contact ground on 1216. Thanks to the ATC. Have a good night, Recap 353. Bye.
Bye-bye, yeah. Osprey 4.
Welcome to BinerSim Jakarta, folks.
6 knot, KNH 1010, 25 right, clear to land.
2, 3, Bosh. Okie dokie. Sort that out. 199. Get me taxi charts. This is BinerSim's Jakarta airport scenery, and it's only available on the MSFS marketplace, which is rather sad. Jakarta had a ground. Good evening, Redcap 353's vacated on November 6. Request taxi to the gates.
Lake 353, hello, it's great ground. Say your parking stand number.
We request Foxtrot 11, please.
Roger, Lake 353, continue taxi left turn November Papa 2, November Charlie Yankee, 2K Foxtrot 11.
Left November Papa 2, November Charlie Yankee, gate Foxtrot 11. Recap 353, thanks. Don't need to follow me. AirAsia. We'll leave that on, but I'll just put that TA instead of RA. And the Luke Air tool.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at airport. For your safety, please.
You stand in the A330, love it.
Mobile phone is not allowed until the fasten seatbelt sign is switched off. So be careful when opening the overhead compartment.
You know what? I haven't ever seen this scenery before, but that from early view looks really nice, doesn't it? And I've got to say, the Latin VFR A321 with the Horizon Simulations mod works really nicely on approach. AP bleed. Oh, I don't know where Foxtrot 11 is actually. Let's go to the taxi charts quick.
Berhati-hati ketika membuka ruang penyimpanan di atas. Sebagai peringatan, sila periksa buku tempat duduk.
Ground, good evening, Osprey 495 heavy baggage on November 6.
Pasport atau alat elektronik.
Osprey 495, hello, great ground. Say your parking stand
found
number.
it.
Dengan kaki dengan kami. Kami gembira bersama anda sepanjang penerbangan ini.
So we follow this round left.
495, say your gate number.
And then it's in here, it's in the corner.
Echo 41 for Osprey 495.
Echo 41 now first floor under another traffic parking Echo 41. Can you ever be choice Echo 42?
We'll take Echo 42 for Osprey 495.
Thank you, sir. Osprey 495, continue taxi left turn November Papa 2, November Charlie Yankee, 2 gate Echo 42.
Foxtrot 11.
Gate Echo 42 via November Papa 2, November Charlie
Those lights
Yankee,
off.
495.
Got a custom profile for this as well for GSX, which is what they're guiding us in with at the moment. Little dab of the old brakes just to keep us slow here.
Jakarta Ground Osprey 2472 at Gate Echo 12. Thanks very much for the ATC today and have a great night. Cheers.
Bit too heavy on the brakes.
Have tonight, Osprey 247. Thanks for flying to Jakarta Airport. Great.
Car brakes set. Engines cut. Request deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
See what we get. Let's just change the weather, folks. Scorching, apparently. Oof. Oh, look at that. It's a huge airport, this. It goes all the way over there. My goodness. This is probably the best airport scenery on the marketplace. Certainly the best one I've bought on the marketplace.
Passengers deboarding starting.
That's really nice. Look at that. In 4K, this is mind-blowing. All the little detail on the aprons, look. Let's grab a little screenshot of that. It's frustrating that this is only found on the marketplace. This should be on Contrail, Orbex, all the rest of it. There's the other part of the terminal there. It's just vast, isn't it, Jakarta Airport? My goodness. That one there is Terminal 3, I think. Let me look. Yeah, that's Terminal 3. We're at Terminal 2. Over there, when I was saying it's such a vast airport, that over there is Terminal 1. So let's just have a little look, see.
And ground, hello, Osprey 558 vacated via November 5.
Osprey 558, Jakarta ground, hello, hold position.
Holding position, Osprey 558.
So we see what we've got in the airport. I don't know if it... Oh, there's a basic interior here as well. Look at that. Ooh, where does this go? Okay, just it kind of just disappears off into the airport a little bit. Fair enough. The hell? Somebody's trying to hack my old Apple account by the looks of it. Just had a text.
Osprey 558, welcome to Jakarta Airport.
Here's Terminal 2.
Jakarta ground.
The one thing I was kind of hoping for was like a little train.
If possible, can we have it in the Echo gates, if possible? Any gates in the Echo terminal.
Roger. Continue taxi via right turn November Papa 2.
Marketplace scenery. This is really quite nice, isn't it? There's the other folks over there parked up.
November Papa 2,
Filling up the
November
Echo
36,
stands,
and
looking
gate
good.
Echo 3 to Osprey 558.
We'll just have a quick zip over to Terminal 1 and have a look, see what's a guan over there. We'll just pretend we're on the train. Neil says he went to Jakarta a few years ago. Nice airport. Never been. I'd love to. Love to visit Indonesia. Oh, there's the zoom zooms. They don't do anything though. Terminal 1. So is this the older terminal? You know what we need to do now? More Garuda Indonesia flights, don't we? That's what we need to do. Doesn't look like there's an interior here for these, but that's fine. There's an interior here. Ooh, very nice. My goodness. Drone camera's a bit quick, isn't it? They've got a viewing area, Neil says, on each terminal. Where would that be? Can't see it immediately standing out. I'll tell you what, the colours and the apron areas and stuff are really quite nice, aren't they? BinerSim. Performance seems pretty good. I know it's useless me saying that on a RTX 4090, but maybe that's the viewing area, this kind of walkway thing. Camembert in the stream for short landing, yeah. So this has been BinerSim's Jakarta Soekarno-Hatta Airport. The departure that we had today out of Kuala Lumpur was scenery by TheSecretStudio, which is also quite nice. Though a little expensive at 20 quid for what you get. This is amazing for what you get, value for money wise. But the TheSecretStudio airport scenery is about to be updated in January with a load of new stuff. This is wicked. This is a great little scenery. I can't understand why it'd only be available on the marketplace. Let's look at Terminal 3. I assume this is the new one.
Good evening, Barak 388. Looking to taxi to Stan 7. Foxtrot 7 and Foxtrot 6.
Departures. Keberangkatan.
Batik 388, hello, great ground. Come from parking gate number Foxtrot 71.
72.
Roger, Batik 388, continue straight to gate.
Nothing really here, but let's just smash through, see what we've got.
To Stan Foxtrot 7.
Bit of nothingness.
Barak 388, thank you very much.
Bit of nothingness. Okay, so no interior at all in that one, but that's fine. Let's look at the nighttime textures, shall we? My favourite time of the day in the sim. Just want to trigger those lights. Bing! Look at that. Oh, look at the detail there. Pretty cool. Apron lighting looking amazing. Actually, look how illuminated, nicely illuminated that is, and the tower as well.
Hello, say your parking stand number.
It doesn't matter to me, sir. Echo, somewhere on Echo.
Loads of us.
Osprey 490, continue.
Greg's gone all the way over there.
Gate Echo 31.
Echo 31, Osprey.
Oh, that's Mr. Soekarno and Mr. Hatta. Interesting. So, yeah, even at night time, this is wonderful, isn't it? Look at that. Trying to get Graham in the screenshot here. He's going to park there, right on that corner stand. So I can just about get people in if I do that. That's a pretty good screenshot, isn't it? See if he straightens himself up first. That'll do. Love it. There we are. And I think that is everybody. Let me just check Volanta real quick, and then we'll check New Sky. I think that's it. Let's have a look. Charts. No, New Sky. That's what we want. Okay, between 9 and 10 is what we want. 17431, 9.86, off centerline landing. Oof. There's our little routing for today. Rather nice. Thank you to Ashley for suggesting the route as well. Quite a good one, actually. Appreciate it. Lazarus, I'll put it in Discord. In fact, that's a better one, isn't it? Let's just make sure that's perfectly level. And I don't want the GSX thing in the way. There we are. That's a bit more like it. Lovely job. See if we can be a bit arty-farty. Get a different angle. Lovely. There we are. Massive thank you to all of our ATC through today. Really appreciate it. You guys taking the time to give us some wonderful air traffic control. And those of you who flew along as well, I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. Cracking route indeed. Join us tomorrow. Leeds Bradford is our destination out of Malaga. Really nice new sceneries to both go and check out. And the Leeds version 2 is a preview tomorrow, so definitely don't want to miss that. This airport from BinerSim is wonderful. Look at that. Really stunning. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bright eyes, bushy-tailed. 1300 UTC for some PMDG 737-800 ops. In the meantime, as always, enjoy the rest of the evening. Massive thank you to for flying along. A little earlier on as well, it goes without saying, to Mikhail, thank you for your super chat. Really appreciate that. Very generous of you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the day. Ta-ra for now.
Have a tonight, Aircraft 353, thanks for flying to Scaneta Airport.